So this is video 2 of my off-the-shelf look at Saratoga, GMT's Saratoga, Volume 1 in the Battles of the American Revolution series. Number 5 in the sequence of play is rifle fire phase, and both players may conduct rifle fire with their rifle units. So on the British side we have some Jaegers, and on the American side we have Morgan's rifles as examples. So both players may conduct rifle fire with their rifle units. Fire is considered simultaneous. Step 1, determine the to-hit number. Okay, so similar to artillery, we're going to find the rifle to-hit number, strength points firing. So Morgan at full strength is 3. The Prussian Jaegers are 1. So the Jaegers are a 1-step unit. Morgan is a 2-step unit. So we're going to find the strength points firing, range, column for adjacent, then 2 or 3 hexes, then 4 hexes. Again, the fire combat DRMs are cumulative. Looks like these are the same for both rifle and artillery fire. Okay, so I guess if the Jaegers are here and we have an American unit like this in the woods, the Jaegers is 1 strength point, adjacent is 7, but the target is in, okay, first target is light infantry -1. No, this is regular infantry. Target occupies forest hex, yes, so -1. Firing the field works, artillery, mounted dragoon, firing first time. So we'll say none of those apply. So first time a rifle unit fires in the game is +1. So that first attack, volleys, however you want to look at it, is stronger, is better than normal. Okay, and that, by the way, is a side notation. So you're going to need a little piece of scratch paper on the side to note when the rifle units have fired for the first time in the game. But so this would be, British would roll an 8, -1 for the targets being in the woods is 7, but 7 is still just barely enough to get a hit. Then step 2, roll a die. 4, if the modified die roll is equal to or greater than the to-hit number. Okay, we already did that. Step 3, if a hit is scored, a second. Okay, second unmodified die roll is made on the rifle fire damage table. Okay, so you have our artillery fire damage table and a rifle fire damage table. So we rolled a 4, or they're unmodified. Okay, no DRMs. Make any army morale adjustments that are required. So we rolled a 4. We find die roll 4 to 6 versus non-artillery. This is versus regular infantry there. So it's an R result. An R result is a retreat. So basically, the target unit retreats 1 hex. Other units in the hex basically make a morale check. If they fail, they also retreat 1 hex. Okay. So that is the rifle fire phase. Then you go to step 6 in the sequence of play, close combat phase. I should say B6 because there'll be a C6. Okay, later. Okay, so close combat phase, rule section 12. First designate all attacks, then remove pin markers from all units, then conduct all designated close combats. So let's do one here. Let's say the 47th here, 14th Massachusetts, like this. And let's say if, I think, as I understand it, if the 14th Massachusetts was underneath a pin, all right, designate all attacks. The British player designates 47th. He's conducting close combat against target there. Then we remove the pin marker. Yeah, that's it. Pin marker is removed, and then conduct all designated close combat. So there's a close combat sequence. Step 1, determine odds ratio. Artillery capture, cavalry withdrawal are subcases of this. So is this just a 3-2? I guess it is, right? The 47th has a strength of 3. 14 Massachusetts has a strength of 2, 3-2, I guess. And there's a 3-2 column, so don't even have to do anything more than that. Determine lead units. Well, there is only 47, but there are lead units. All right, we'll just change it up here so we can exercise the rules. Now it's the ad hoc infantry and the 47th on the British side. 2 units declare melee against 2 American units, the 12th Massachusetts and the 14th Massachusetts. So now determine the odds ratio. Now it's 5 to 5. Okay, now it's 1-1. Then we determine lead units. So the British are going to designate the 47th to be lead. Like that. And then the Americans will choose the 12th Massachusetts to be lead for defender. All right, so the next step is to determine DRMs, die roll modifiers. You got a fairly lengthy list there for attacker and defender benefits. So go right through. Again, the British are attacking, lead units to 47th. So adjusted unit morale, attacker's lead unit. 47th actually has a morale of 0. Close combat DRM of attackers commanding leader. No leader involved here. Any defending unit is a rifle unit. No, the 2 American units are regular infantry. Any defending unit is disrupted or shattered. Nope, they're parade order at this point. Any attackers mounted dragoon. No. All defending units are militia. No. Defender surrounded. No. Any defenders ammo depleted. No. All right, so defender benefit. Oh, okay. Adjusted unit morale. Yes, the 12th Massachusetts has a +1. So does that mean... Okay, well, I guess I'll add them up on the American side, and then that'll be a negative. Yeah, that'll be negative to the British roll. Okay. Close combat DRM, a defending command, no leaders. Any attacking unit is a rifle unit, no. All attacking units are militia, no. Cross Creek Hex side, no. This is in the clear here. Field works, upslope, ravine, surrounding. Okay. So the only adjustment, I guess, is that the British will subtract 1 because the 12th Massachusetts has a +1 morale. Yes. Okay. By the way, again, for side commentary, I don't think... Again, it's important to consider scale and scope of what we're dealing with here. But I would still question whether morale should really be a direct modifier to close combat results. But that's discussion for another time. Okay, so our DRMs are -1 for the British. Select and resolve tactics. Okay, select and resolve tactics. Now we get to the tactics chits. Each side has an identical set of tactics chits. So these are labeled on the back, American tactics, British tactics, but they are actually an identical set. We have turn, flank, commit, reserve, withdraw, stand fast, frontal assault, skirmish, attack echelon, skirmish, withdraw, commit, reserve, turn, flank, refuse flank, and stand fast. So identical 8 tactics chits on each side. So how do we use them? So the step is step 4, select and resolve tactics. Back to our close combat example, the British player is going to secretly choose a tactic chit, and the Americans are going to secretly choose a tactic chit, and then they're going to be revealed simultaneously, and we're going to resolve that. However, there's a bit more to it, and I knew there was one more advanced rule that I would not think of playing without. So in each close combat situation, each player is going to be eligible to play a tactic chit. However, and it's considered an advanced rule, but I wouldn't consider not playing with it, there are restrictions on which tactic chit each side can choose depending on different situations. So, skirmish, let's go with this. Let's go in order. So, skirmish, again, both sides have a skirmish chit. Skirmish, attack in echelon, stand fast, withdraw, and okay, there's no restriction. So skirmish, attack echelon, stand fast, and withdraw, which makes sense. These four are always open, are always eligible, or are always valid options for both sides. Then you have frontal assault, like this, frontal assault, and commit reserve. Basically requires a leader. Frontal assault, commit reserve, a leader must be stacked with or adjacent to at least one unit involved in this close combat. Actually being adjacent will be important, I think, when we're actually playing the game. But okay, the unit does not have to be the lead unit. Okay, so yeah, so I'll just leave it there. So basically these ones need a leader, and then turn flank and refuse flank. Yeah, okay, these ones require basically an open adjacent hex. There must be one empty hex adjacent to both players' units, one hex with defending units in it, and one hex with attacking units in it, and a friendly leader must be stacked with or adjacent. Okay, so basically, in our example here, we're not going to have any leaders involved whatsoever, so we know these four are not options anyways. And that makes sense, and that kind of, in a sense, it also makes it a bit easier. But okay, so now let's look at our example here. It's in the clear. So let's just take well, actually, I'll do it off camera. Okay, off camera, I went ahead and chose for each side what I think would be a reasonable tactic chit to choose. So the British, they're attacking 1-to-1 odds. Can't be that good. Haven't even looked at the close combat table closely, but not sure it's that good. So the British would choose skirmish. These would be revealed simultaneously. The Americans are going to choose attack echelon. Basically, I think of this as a counterattack. Again, it's 1-to-1. British are attacking the regular American infantry here. So in a sense, they're going to counterattack. They also have the higher morale, right? So why not, right? So attack echelon's the tactic chit. That to me, again, is kind of like a counterattack. So that is step 4, select and resolve tactics now. So the British player attacking is already subtracting 1 for the American morale. Now we go to the tactical matrix. The attacker, the British, have a skirmish. Defender has an attack echelon, so it's a +1. +1 what? Yeah, +1. That's interesting. I didn't actually expect that. So by the British choosing to skirmish and the Americans choosing to attack an echelon, the British effectively negated the penalty they were facing because of the American better morale. So the +1 from the tactical matrix cancels the -1 from the Americans' superior morale. So I guess it's even on 1-to-1. Even on 1-to-1, resolve close combat. So the British roll a 9, even. So that's going to be, I think, really good for them. So 1-to-1 column, 9. Result before the / attacker, so nothing to the British, and the defender is disrupted. Okay, as I understand it, the affected unit is going to be the lead unit. So as I understand it, the 12th Massachusetts, which was the lead unit, is going to retreat 3 hexes. So 1, 2, 3, displays, retreats 3 hexes and has a disrupted marker placed on them. And then the remaining units in the hex there have a morale check, so they rolled a 7 plus 1 for their morale is 8. They easily passed their morale check. Must be a morale check. If they fail, they must retreat 1 hex. So I think they're okay. I think he stays. If he had failed, he would have retreated 1 hex. And the result is the lead unit retreats 3 hexes and is disrupted. So step 6 is momentum decision. So right now the British hold 1 momentum chit and the Americans hold none. So what it says is the player holding the fewest momentum chits may choose to spend 1 to return to the resolve combat and basically re-roll, get another result. Americans can't do this because they don't have a momentum chit to spend. If this player declines to use momentum, the other player may choose to expend a momentum chit to return. Well, the British wouldn't do that because they got a pretty darn good result with a roll of 9. So that's that. But you can use momentum chits to basically redo close combat step. Then we have a gain momentum step. Well, step 7 is to apply the results that we already did. And then step 8, gain momentum. So again, back to the table with the dots at -2 or the squares next to -2 and -1. That's the defender gains momentum, and the circles next to 10 and 11. So when the British rolled a 9, they just missed the circled results of 10 and 11, or just missed result of 10, which would have given their side, the British side, yet another momentum chit. But that's how you do that step. If you have dramatically extreme results one way or the other, one side will gain a momentum chit. Finally, there is step 9, advance after combat. But in our case, the 14th Massachusetts stood fast and by passing their morale check. Now that is it for the initiative player turn, which was the British in this case. Now we flip this over to the American side or the other side, put it back on the turn track under the right turn number, and go through the same steps for the second player's turn. Then we have, by the way, we covered most of the basics here. Morale, artillery fire, rifle fire, close combat, tactics, chits, etc. So then we have an end of turn segment check for automatic victory. Step 1, step 2. If it's the last game turn of the scenario, determine a winner. 3, advance the game turn marker to the top half of the next game turn. We'll go over and look at the Saratoga exclusive rulebook now for a few minutes. First, the color coding. These on the American side, the dark blue is the dark blue on the right here is indicates Gates' wing. The light blue indicates Arnold's wing. So let's see if that, yeah, that does correspond. We've got Arnold, the leader, light blue for his wing, and where's Gates? Where's Gates? There he is. Okay, so dark blue for Gates and his wing. On the British side, red, guess, oh, okay. Red, like the Earl of Balcarres here, So red for regulars, the brown, like here, brown like the Ottawa Native American unit there, or the New York Loyalist. So the brown are militia and auxiliaries. And finally, green, like these grenadiers, are Germans. American setup, okay. So these are our turn. Well, basically the setup is most of the American units are on Bemis Heights, with a few of Arnold's units forward in a few different, well, advanced positions. And again, the British are moving the first 2 turns. Just the British are moving. There's a reminder. Yeah, there is a reminder. On the turn track, you have British turn only, and you have fog question mark. British turn only, British reinforcements, and fog question mark for turn 2. These are 1-hour turns. The game as a whole lasts for 12 turns. Unless the game ends earlier, according to an automatic victory. So it starts at 8 a.m. in the morning and goes till 7 p.m. Well, 8 p.m. 7 p.m. turn. 12 turns altogether. Again, turns 1 and 2, only the British are acting. Turn 3, the Americans automatically get the initiative. And starting from game turn 4 on, we're determining initiative according to the standard sequence of play. As I mentioned quickly before, both sides start at an army morale level of 14.